we have this conservative mindset that if things are not done this way, it is wrong, especially when it comes to religion. Okay, please leave that in Africa. One thing that the Aussie people don't like is you telling them what to do. It no concern you. Okay, they say comparison is a thief of joy. You will run faster than your shadow. Discuss all these things prior to moving, so that it won't be like, oh, you've moved to Australia, now you have changed. Nobody changed though, the situation changed. That's what happens. Hello guys, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have come here to give my unsolicited advice. Okay, nobody asked me, actually somebody asked me. Okay, the previous Q&A that I did, someone did ask me, what are your advice to someone like a family trying to move to Australia? What 5 advice are you giving them? Do you know what the good part is? I'm not only giving only 5 advice. Okay, from my list here I have like 9 or 10, so you really need to stick around and hear everything that I have to say. Okay, before we go into everything that we have for this video, I would like to give a disclaimer. Okay, I am not a migration agent. Okay, I am not a migration agent. I don't work in immigration. The advice I'm going to be giving you on this particular video is just based on my own experience and coming from my own mistakes as well. Did we get that? I think we did. Yeah. So, all right. So the number one on the list is research. Okay, you cannot do without research. Okay, this is 2024. I know that it is good to ask questions, but it's not everything that you come to ask people. I'm not in any way shaming anybody who is asking questions about moving to Australia. I'm just saying you need to do your own little research. Even if somebody is telling you something, how do you know it's true? How do you are you just going to swallow the information like hook, line and sinker? And if you want to research anything about Australian migration, the best place to go is to go to the official Australian websites, official immigration websites. Okay, I'm going to leave it on the screen. Avoid all these scams going on. I'll help you move to Australia with visiting visa, blah blah blah. You have to be very careful. There's a lot of scam going on out there and you don't want to fall victim in this day and age. Anyway, so enough said about that. And when it comes to research, you can always research which visa is most suitable for you based on your age, based on your qualification, based on your level of experience. There's a lot of things that you need to consider. Okay, you can also research the town or city, the state that you want to move to, and you also need to consider the cost of living in that state or that city. I know that most of us coming from Africa or Nigeria, when you hear Australia, you want to go to Sydney, you want to go to Melbourne. But the fact is, how is that helping you in the long run? For instance, if you are studying and you don't even know how to, navigate, converting your student visa into another form of visa, how are you going to do that? And that's where going to regional area comes into place, because it gives you extra points for your PR. Okay, so you need to consider all of these things and not just move with the crowd. Everybody's going to Sydney, everybody's going to Melbourne, and then you carry your bag and go there. Number two is making financial plans. Okay, and by this I mean, how much money do you have? How do you plan to spend the money? How do you plan to make more money? Okay, you need to learn this even before moving here, because even after you've moved, okay, even after you've moved here, you need to learn money management, because it is hard to borrow money. It is hard to borrow money in this country. Nobody will agree that they have any money for borrow. I need like 2K borrow the matter. Even if they are borrowing you, they are going to just say, okay, within a fortnight you have to pay it back. So how do you plan to do that? I know when you look at your bank account, sometimes you feel like, yes, I have enough money. I think I have enough money. Don't be fooled though, because money these days is nothing. Like, you need to know how to manage yourself and manage the money that you have. Okay, budgeting is great. You have to budget the rent, other bills, if you have children, kids school fees, daycare, depending on your own family circumstance. So number 3 is be mentally prepared. Okay, be mentally prepared before coming here. Okay, transitioning from Nigeria or from Africa or from wherever to Australia is not going to be so easy. Okay, this is a whole new country that you are moving into. You might have certain setbacks and certain, difficulties trying to get things done, trying to figure things out, because this is a new place and it is mentally exhausting. It can be very overwhelming, so you need to be mentally prepared. And how you can do this is, like I said, doing simple research, knowing what to expect. You can also, like, sitting down with your family, with your spouse, if you have one, sit down with your spouse, discuss how you are going to navigate this move. When you eventually move to Australia, when you eventually land in Australia, who is going to do what? Make sure that you have this. This is an important conversation that you need to have with your partner. See, here in Australia or in most first world countries, there's no clear gender role. Okay, anybody can do whatever. Men can stay at home and look after kids, clean, cook. Women can go out there and work. So it is different here. So you need to really prepare your mind. If you have kids, you need to sit your kids down as well. If they are old enough for that, discuss the changes that is going to come so that it won't be like a shock to them, because they are living their the environment which they are used to. It's almost like you are uprooting them from where they are used to and you are planting them somewhere else. So you have to be patient with them. Just know that it's not going to be easy transition for anybody involved. Okay, be kind to your kids, be kind to your spouse, be kind to yourself. Okay, plan things ahead, discuss things ahead, because trust me, it's not easy here. Like, it's not like in Africa or in Nigeria, where we are used to having helps, family members. In Nigeria, they can have up to three maids. Okay, it's different here. Like, it's hard here. I don't know the amount of money you have to actually employ three maids or even one here. So you have to help out with housework as a man, looking after the kids, changing diapers, cooking, cleaning. Anybody can do anything. There's no clear gender role, like I said. So you have to help each other. And as a woman, you can also go there and work and make some money. Okay, so if you are a man and you have this misogynistic mindset that, oh, your wife has to be submissive and blah 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 blah, you are not going to thrive here. I'm sorry. Here is all hands on deck. You have to work together, be kind to one another, discuss all these things prior to moving, so that it won't be like, oh, you've moved to Australia, now you have changed. Nobody changed though. The situation changed. That's what happens. So the next one is learn how to drive. Okay. Make sure that both you and your partner can drive. Okay. This country is hard without mobility. Like moving from point A to B, it is hard. Public transport, especially when you live in a regional area like I do. I live in Newcastle here, and I know I can tell you for free how hard and inaccessible the public transport here is. Even when it's accessible, it takes longer time to move from point A to B. Your Google map will tell you. You see driving takes 13 minutes, and then if you're using a public transport, it's going to take an hour and a half. Nobody wants to deal with that, especially when you are moving into a new country. You have to get as much things off your plate as possible. Get that driver's license from Nigeria, from Africa, from Europe, from wherever you're watching me from. Get it. Like, learn how to drive, because learning how to drive here, the process long. Okay, so you have to learn how to drive, and then when you come here, you can convert your Nigerian license, your African, wherever you're coming from, the license, you can, convert it to the Australian driver's license, which is what I did. I'm going to link a video where I explained everything. I'm not sure how, if that is still applicable now. I'm not going to say the one that I'm not sure of. Okay, so please let me know in the comment section. Can you, if you know, can you still convert your overseas license to the Australian license? Is that say applicable? I'm not sure, but as of last year, I mean last 2 years when I did mine, that was still possible. So let me know, guys, in the comment section. Even if you are not able to convert, at least you know how to drive. Okay, when you are starting from scratch here, eh, it's a long. The process is long. Okay, and you don't want to deal with all that. Life is already hard here. Just take as much things off your plate as possible. If not, it's going to be very overwhelming, especially the first 6 months, the first year, second year. Like, settling down can take as long as, I don't know, like, I've been here almost 7 years and I still don't feel like I'm like settled. New things pop up every day and you're like, oh, I wasn't prepared for this. So yeah, you need to be mentally prepared. Another way you can actually prepare your mind, is by watching or following people who already live in Australia. I know that some of you guys do that already, and that's why you follow me or you watch my videos and whatnot. By the way, if you are yet to subscribe, please go ahead and click that red subscribe button. You don't want to miss any video from me, okay? It's premium content I'm going to be giving you guys from now. You guys already know. So please subscribe, thumbs up this video already, leave comments and all of that. So yeah, so let's move on to the next one. Another thing is to learn the Aussie culture, okay? Learn the Aussie culture, learn the Aussie slangs. I've mentioned this in my previous video, the slangs and the everything. It took me by surprise when I moved here because I never knew of the Aussie slangs and whatnot. So when I came here and they were rapping in their slang and their what's it, accent, the Aussie accent, I could not hear Jack, okay?
Hello, mate. How are you? How's it going?
Bueno, mate. This is Chad. He's from America.
Oh, good day, mate. Nice to meet you. Chazzy, mate. How are you? How you going, mate? Yeah, good to have you down here. Yeah, fun, everything all right? Bit of a day for it. A couple of days long since morning. Never went astray, mate. Help yourself to the fridge, eh? Showing your hand. He's a good lad. He's a good hard worker. Works well with his hands. Not such a big leg hand like you, though, mate. We have to get your bloody rouse about in the shearing shed, mate.
Yeah.
Got much experience working with your hands, buddy?
So you need to kind of familiarize yourself with the Aussie slangs and Aussie culture. The Aussie people are quite friendly. Most of them are. You see me the bad ones, okay? The bad egg. There's always gonna be the bad egg, okay? So, but most of them are really nice and friendly. Quite different sort of. Should I call it dark? Is it dark humor? They have some like an interesting sense of humor, right? So even at work, you can see that play out. Somebody will just tell you, "Oh, yeah, fuck off," and they can use swear words as well. So yeah, you need to know that as well. So they have an interesting sense of humor. Okay, so don't take anything to heart. They joke a lot about things, about everything really. They're so laid back. So you need to familiarize yourself with the Aussie culture and Aussie slangs, and that will help you when you move here. Okay, if not, when you come here and they're rapping in their accent and you'll be lost. Okay, another thing is to be open-minded. Okay, be open-minded. I know that most of us from Africa, we have this conservative mindset that if things are not done this way, it is wrong, especially when it comes to religion. Okay, please leave that in Africa. Okay, one thing that the Aussie people don't like is you telling them what to do or who to serve. Okay, so it's very very offensive when you try to impose your beliefs or your whatever. Like, respect people's choices, people's decisions, even though it doesn't make sense to you. Respect it. Respect is key here. So respect people's views, people's attitudes, people's values in life. It not concern you. Okay, don't go and start trying to, impose your own belief on them, especially when it comes to religion. Like, that is one thing that they really hate. Okay, so don't do that. Okay, you have to be very open-minded, be ready to change, be ready to learn and unlearn. Okay, this is not Africa or in Nigeria where you can do anyhow. Okay, do anyhow with your wife, do anyhow with your children, flog your kids, especially in public. You go to jail. Oh. Make sure that you are abiding by the laws. Learn and unlearn. Don't be very conservative. Be open-minded. Okay, learn and unlearn. Okay, so I think I've talked about this one, which is just be patient with yourself and be patient with your partner and your family. Okay, everybody has their own adaptation timeline, like I like to call it. If that it took you a week to adapt, doesn't mean that it's going to take the same time for every member of your family. Especially kids, is harder on them. They haven't quite developed that resilience yet. Okay, they haven't developed that AQ yet, adversity quotient or whatever they call it. So it is harder on them because they are kids. So when they start throwing tantrums and start, just acting in a certain way, just be patient with them, be patient with yourself, be patient with your spouse. And yeah. So another one is to keep in touch with your family back home. Okay. Keep in touch with your family back home because they can provide you with emotional support. Okay. You need all the emotional support that you can get. Trust me, you need it. So when you feel down or anything, you can always call, your friends or good friends, so good friends and family back home. They can support you emotionally. You have somebody to vent to, somebody that really understands you. So I think that's very important. I'm also telling myself, like, I don't call my friends back home enough as much as I would love to. I know I call my family, but like when it comes to friends, like, I need to do better. So, yeah, don't forget your old friends. I haven't forgotten anybody. If you're watching this video, don't say I've forgotten you. So, your family and friends back home can offer you emotional support that you need, especially when you've moved in newly. Okay. So, another thing on my list is keep your expectations low. Keep your expectations low. Okay, I know why I'm saying this. Don't expect that once you move here you'll be plucking money from the trees. That's not how it works. Okay, I know the grass is greener here, no doubt, but you have to work for it. You have to work hard for it. You have to be diligent. You have to really work smart. Another thing is that when it comes to food and everything else in between, like, Australia is very different from UK and the US. I know that in the US and in the UK, you can even get fresh food, fresh Nigerian vegetables, fresh Nigerian food, and whatnot. It is different here. Here, it is either dried or nothing. Okay, you really need to keep that in mind. Okay, don't expect too much, even when it comes to fashion. Don't carry all your, don't go and be shopping all the coats or the boots or the obodo ibo attire, because trust me, when you come here you will hardly even wear them. Okay, because here people, their sense of fashion is now, it's on the low. Okay, they're very laid back. You can even see people on barefoot on the road, like it happens.
If people are asked to typify aspects of Australian culture, barefoot would be in there.
It's been called one of the weirdest, perplexing, odd, unexplainable Australian cultural habits.
There's a strain that runs through Australian culture. You can go barefoot and say, in so doing, I am living out Australian culture.
They don't care about fashion or anything, so don't expect too much. Just come as simple as you are. Okay, okay. If not, when you go out, every time you see yourself looking way overdressed. Okay, because people don't really care about all those things here. Like, yeah, which I think is good though. Like, I quite like it because I'm not struggling to keep up with fashion. So another thing is to stay connected. Okay, stay connected when you come here. Don't isolate yourself. You need all the help that you can get, especially when you moved in newly. You need people that will direct you in the right path. Okay, this is why you have to join, Nigerian community here, join Nigerian or African churches here. You always see somebody to ask questions. At least I know it's hard for us that are introverts. It's hard to mix up with people and all, but you have to go the extra mile. Try not to be alone. Okay, even if it means going to church and joining church groups. Okay, Nigerian community groups. You can also join WhatsApp groups and Instagram group. You can also join WhatsApp groups and Facebook groups. Okay, there you can always see, Nigerian community in your state or in your city, or African community, depending on where you are coming from. So don't isolate yourself. Information is key. If anything is going on, if anything good is going on, you always hear it from your peers, from your little group, little community that you've built for yourself. So you can always see people to talk to and people to ask questions and all of that. So don't isolate yourself. Okay. So the final one on my list is try not to compare your life with others. Okay, don't go and compare your life with those that have lived here for years, 20 years, 10 years. Don't be faster than your shadow. It gets better. That people moved here 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they built mansions and whatnot. It doesn't mean it's going to happen exactly the same for you, because guess what, your own timeline is different, your own story is different. Okay, the way our stories are written are different. Some people, they start their own build house is in chapter 1, your own might be in chapter 7 or 8, and it doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that you are following your own timeline, because when you want to run faster than your shadow, that's where you get problems. That's where you get problems. You get misled. You get. I'm not saying don't be ambitious. Don't strive to be better and whatnot, but don't compare yourself. Healthy competition is great. Okay, when it's healthy. Okay, they say comparison is a thief of joy. Be happy with what you have. Strive harder to be better, but not to be better than somebody, to be better than the old version of you. That's what you should strive to be. Because trust me, grace is even different. Okay, you will run faster than your shadow. You will not even reach. just follow your own lane. It gets better. It gets better with you integrating into the society, with you learning, with you improving yourself, with you mingling with people that know the way. Okay? So that's basically all I have for this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope I answered your question. I can't remember the name again, but I hope I answered your question and I hope somebody gained value from watching this video. If you found it helpful, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll be sharing more as we go, okay? Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video to people who are planning to move to Australia. And yeah, that's it, guys. Thumbs up. Leave comments, questions, whatever you have in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one, okay? Bye.
In this crazy life we live, we all need someone to hold, a friend to light the way when the world starts to unfold. Through all the ups and downs, the highs and lows we share, we'll stick together, ride or die. Let's show